just one thing about the trade deadline and how things work and how aggressive teams can be and not care about salary cap if you can spend it or whatever. Because, again, I don't understand why some teams just don't say, screw it, screw the draft choice. Let's go. Let's just get him. I mean, even the Bears did that yesterday. Let's take a 2 and a 5 and get, right? Or take a 2 and get Montez Sweat, because next year, when we're in the second round, Montez Sweat is not on the draft board. Now, you could sit here and say a couple things. One, you got to re-sign him. Two, clearly the fact that the Commanders are offering him up means they're not going to re-sign him, and you could have had him for no draft compensation. You see that push back a little bit? But I don't mind the aggressiveness. Get him now. You get him. You get him in your building. You show him your culture. You show him your world. And I understand people might make fun of that about the Bears, but they're not making fun of it. They believe it. And, this is what they're about, is get somebody in, show them what they can do, and trying their best to keep them. And you get him. You're not going to go into the mosh pit with 30 other teams, assuming Washington's not going to be in the running for Sweat. Well, now guess what? You got him. I like that aggressiveness. The San Francisco 49ers, man. In the world of the NFL last couple of years, this is the advent of it, if an executive or coach of color is hired by another organization, you get a compensatory third-round draft choice. DeMeco Ryans, hired by the Houston Texans as their head coach. Ran Carthon, hired by the Titans as their general manager. Both leaving the Niners to go to their respective spots. They get a compensatory pick. And guess what? They flipped that pick to Washington yesterday to get Chase Young.
Just crazy.
Okay. So they took a compensatory pick that they are getting.
Free draft pick.
Right. And rewarded for having a front office and or sideline that is diverse. They get this draft choice, and they get Chase Young for it. And if Young, let's just say, walks, guess what they get? A compensatory third-round pick. So they'll get the pick back, and all they're getting maybe is Chase Young on the other side of the defensive line from their other Ohio State stellar pass rusher in Nick Bosa. And all it costs them is money on the cap. And Jed York's like, sure. And that's the way you do it. That's the way you stay ahead of the game. Why didn't anybody else think of that? If you've got a compensatory pick, or just take your own damn third-round draft choice and flip it, and then you'll get a third-round draft choice back if he leaves. That's a little bit less than the one that you were going to have, but it's still a third-round pick. I don't get it. Some of these teams just covet these draft choices like it's gold, and it's a total crapshoot. At least you know the people you're getting. You have a track record. Isn't that a benefit to it? I mean, Howie Roseman is a king of this stuff. And I don't know, the Roseman mind trick. It's like these are the picks you're looking for, and I want that person that will instantly transform my team.
I want A.J. Brown.
They get it.
Why isn't Derrick Henry a Dallas Cowboy?
I don't know, man. That was so hurt last night.
Or Cleveland Brown.
Nothing.
Or
again, and if it's what is it, $5 million, $6 million? If I told you before the beginning of the season you can have Derrick Henry for way less than the market value of a franchise running back, you take him.
How quickly can I make this deal?
What the hell?
I'd borrow the money from Del Tufo.
It's worth a two. It's worth a two, isn't it? Unless the Titans are saying we want a one for him. And guess what? If you got a trophy in the case, nobody remembers what the hell you gave up for the guy.
Yes, Rich, yes.
What was the Stafford trade again?
Who cares?
No, it was a Super Bowl championship.
Who cares?
Lombardi. Don't
That's
remember.
what that was.
Who cares?
Don't remember. Lombardi.
That was a title.
That's my 2 cents on the whole trade deadline thing. But I'm sitting here. I'm not in the front office with, an owner who might tell me you're out, despite the head coach that brought you in here having a 6-year contract. So it's pretty dicey.
At 10 o'clock on a Tuesday
It's
night.
pretty dicey, and I understand these are risky moves that are made, and then the owners look at you and go, why the hell did you do that? Get out. And your kids suddenly don't go to the school that they love, and your spouse suddenly doesn't,
Leaves you?
has to look for, well, no, has to look, I was going to say has to look for another job in another town, you know? Like these are real life decisions, I understand, and I'm sitting in front of a microphone here. But that's just my way of thinking about it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.